This week's episode is dedicated to the part of you that believes it's unlovable. After last week's meditation on cultivating inner belonging, I wanted to create a follow-up specifically for the part of you that feels like it will never belong. Because in my work with hundreds of people over the years, when we slow down and really get to the deeper layers and core wounds, there's almost always a private belief living somewhere inside that says, I'm unlovable, or I'm fundamentally flawed, I'm inherently unworthy, or there's something wrong with me. And almost everyone also thinks they're alone in this. We believe that there truly is something uniquely wrong with us. And because it feels so shameful, we rarely put words to it. Often we don't fully even realize it's there on a conscious level. We just feel its effects. In fact, many of our self-protective strategies are organized around keeping this wound from being activated. We people please, we hide our true feelings and desires, we overfunction, we pull away. We subconsciously and automatically contort ourselves in all kinds of ways just to protect ourselves from the sting of this belief. And that's why today I wanted to name this directly, because this fear that we're uniquely bad, flawed, or unlovable is not yours alone, and it's not true. It's a very common wound and belief, and it certainly doesn't mean that you are unlovable. Also, I created today's meditation because I believe that this part of you deserves care and support. This part has been living with a very painful sense of being unlovable or wrong for a long time, and carrying that kind of pain for years, often privately, takes a toll. But when we turn toward this part with real curiosity and compassion, it can begin to feel some relief from the burden it's been carrying. When it's met in this way, something very deep can soften, and that softening shifts how we feel about ourselves from the inside. So in this part's work meditation, I'm going to guide you to gently connect with that part of you and offer it what it's been missing for a long time: deep listening, acceptance, and support. This meditation utilizes regenerating images and memory, which is a somatic emotional processing approach that helps us access the deeper layers where these wounded parts often live. And through this practice, you can begin to loosen the grip of this old belief, reduce the intensity of the shame it carries, and build a more supportive relationship with yourself. Welcome to Somatic Healing Meditations, the podcast that helps you regulate your nervous system, deepen your healing journey, and feel better in your body. I'm Karenna with Hello Inner Light, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm a somatic healing coach who specializes in compassionate, body-centered processing that helps you heal the wounds that are holding you back. So if that's the kind of content you need more of in your life, please subscribe to this podcast and join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self. I have a few quick announcements for you today. Firstly, you're invited to sign up for my mini course, the Feel It to Heal It mini course, which is free on my website. In 5 mini lessons, it can help you drop in, deepen your compassionate self-understanding, and immerse yourself more in the somatic healing paradigm. Also, if you're ready to find your center, quiet your mind, and step off the roller coaster of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm, I'd love for you to join me in Somatic Healing Hub. Somatic Healing Hub is a beautiful, deeply supportive online community filled with the structure, support, and somatic practices to help you actually feel better in your body and create real, lasting change in your life. Inside, you can join me in regular, live somatic healing practices and get ad-free access to this entire podcast. And lastly, I've opened the priority waitlist for my Somatic Self-Love Retreat in Costa Rica that's happening in 2027. So be sure to get on the waitlist if you want to be the first to know when the early bird special pricing goes live. You can find all of the links for these offerings in the show notes. And I just want to thank you for supporting my small woman-owned business. It truly means the world to me. Now, before we dive into this uninterrupted meditation, here's a quick word from the sponsors that make all this free content possible. Now, let's dive in to this parts work meditation for the part of you that believes it's unlovable. So finding a time and a space where it's safe and comfortable for you to close your eyes and turn your attention within. And with your eyes closed, just bring more and more awareness to your breath. Feeling the natural rhythmic movement that gently happens in your chest and your tummy. And on your next inhale, imagine that you could breathe in through your heart and out through your belly button. Even imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between your heart and your belly button. Imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your throat and out through your shoulders on both sides. And again, imagining that you could feel the space or the distance between those points. Imagining on your next breath that you could breathe in through your right ear and out through your left elbow. Feeling the space or the distance between those 2 points. Imagining you could breathe in through your left ear and out through your right elbow. Feeling the space or the distance. And then imagining that you could breathe in through your knees and out through the soles of your feet. Feeling the space or the distance. And then just breathing in and out through your heart. And as you're here, breathing in and out through your heart, your awareness just gently drops in a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper into your inner world. And you gently begin to become aware of the part of you that believes it's unlovable. So just notice what happens as I say you become aware of this part. What do you notice or feel within? How does your body respond? And what do you feel the most right now? Is this feeling more on the right or the left? Is it more deep or superficial? Is it moving or still? How big is this feeling, or how much space does it take up within or around you? Breathing in to the height, width, thickness, and shape of this feeling. Does this feeling have a color or a texture or an image associated with it? And what else do you notice about this feeling? And as always, there's no way to do this wrong. So you may have answers for all of those questions, you may not. But the questions themselves still help us attune differently to our inner world. So even when you don't have answers, the process of asking the question is deeply important. So just noticing whatever you notice. And just draw closer to that feeling within. And we're going to label this feeling the part of you that believes it's unlovable. So the size, the shape, the color, the location, whatever it is that you just noticed, that's the part of you that believes it's unlovable. And again, you're not alone here. This part is deeply unique to you, but this wound is also deeply universal. And we're going to do some really compassionate work with this part in just a moment. But before we do that, your imagination is going to call forward a virtual resource to be here with you. And a virtual resource is like a guide or an angel or a friend or a kind and loving ancestor. It's really anyone or anything that is safe, loving, and powerful. So just notice who shows up to be here with you. And if no one shows up to be here with you, just know that you're surrounded by your circle of guardians. And your virtual resource or your circle of guardians can just offer you protection or guidance or support in any way that you may need it at any point in this journey. So take a breath and feel your virtual resource or your circle of guardians. And then with your virtual resource or your circle of guardians with you every step of the way, just bring your awareness back to that part. And with your virtual resource or circle of guardians with you, your imagination just takes your awareness into that part. You become this part. You become the color, the shape, the texture, the feeling. You know what this part knows. You feel what it feels. You even look out through its perspective. So breathing and being this part. And as this part, you're just going to finish the following sentences. So as this part, just let your words come forward and say, what it's like to be me is. Breathing and feeling, surrendering into this part even more. And then as this part, you're just going to say, what I'm really feeling deep down is. and breathing and feeling and being this part that believes it's unlovable. And as this part, you're just going to say, what I want to tell you about this belief is. Breathing and feeling and being this part. And as this part, you're just going to say what it's felt like to carry this belief for all of these years is. Breathing and feeling, going even deeper. And as this part, you're just going to say, what I'd rather do if I didn't have to carry this belief for you is. Breathing and feeling and being this part. And as this part, you're just going to say, deep down, what I really want or need is. And being this part and feeling. And as this part, you're just going to say how it feels to say all of this to you is. And now just speaking anything else that wants to be spoken from this part until that feels complete. And now, when that feels complete, your imagination just takes your awareness out of this part and back into the wholeness and totality of you. Just taking a breath and landing back in your whole, self. And now, as your whole self, you're going to look at that part and you're going to receive a stream of colored energy from that part, representing everything it just shared with you. So, noticing the color and the quality of this stream of energy. And notice where you receive it in your body first, and then just fully receiving all of it. And as your whole self, you're just going to say, part, what I heard from you or what I received from you is. Breathing and feeling and being your whole self. And as your whole self speaking to this part, you're just going to say, part, how it feels to hear this and receive this from you is. Breathing and feeling and being your whole self. And as your whole self, you're just going to say to the part, what I want to tell you is. Breathing and feeling and being your whole self. And as your whole self speaking to this part, you're just going to say, part, how it feels to have this conversation with you is. Gently giving yourself so much breath. And as your whole self, just let your words come forward, speaking to the part, you're just going to say, part, what I understand now that I didn't understand before is. And now, just speaking anything else that wants to be spoken from your whole self back to this part until that feels complete. And now, whenever you feel ready, your imagination is going to take you back into that part of you one more time. So noticing that part of you that believes it's unlovable. And just diving in, your imagination just takes your awareness right in. This part may have changed, it may be the same. You just become this part. And now, as this part, just look back at your whole self and receive a stream of colored energy from your whole self, representing everything that was just shared with you. Noticing the color and the quality of this stream of energy. And as the part, notice where you receive it in your body first, and just fully receive it. Now being this part, and letting your words come forward, just speak back to your whole self and say, "Whole self, what I heard from you or what I received from you is..." Breathing and surrendering into this part even more. And as this part, speaking back to your whole self, you're just going to say, "Whole self, how it feels to hear this and receive this from you is..." Breathing and feeling. Being this part. And as this part, you're just going to say, "Whole self, what I'm realizing now is..." Breathing and feeling. and being this part. And as this part, you're just going to say, whole self, how I see this realization helping us moving forward is. And now just speaking anything else that wants to be spoken from this part back to your whole self until that feels complete. And when that feels complete, your imagination just takes your awareness out of this part and again back into your whole self, back into the wholeness and totality of you. And just notice how you feel now. What feels different within and what looks different? And just notice if anything else wants to happen between your whole self and this part before we bring this to a close. And just let whatever wants to happen now. Giving yourself a few more gentle breaths here. And just know that this is all a part of you now. Any shifts, any healing, any realizations, they're all a part of you. They're a part of your cells and your bones, your heart and your mind. And they'll be with you as you move forward. Now just ask your body if there's anything else it wants or needs before we bring this to a close, and just listen to any answer you get. And now, whenever you feel ready and in your own timing, your unconscious mind is going to let you know that all of this is fully integrated into your cellular memory and your emotional memory by bringing full feeling and weight back into your arms and legs, fingers and toes, and spontaneously opening your eyes. Great work. So, I'm curious, what did you learn today? What do you understand about this belief that you didn't understand before? And how do you want to move forward differently now that you've connected with this part? Please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, if this kind of compassionate, deep listening approach resonates with you, you're warmly invited to join me inside Somatic Healing Hub. It's a space where we slow down together, reconnect with the body, and practice healing in a way that truly honors what's real inside. We use somatic tools like the ones in today's meditation consistently and in community, and that's where the transformation really happens. I'd love to see you there. If you enjoyed today's episode, it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to the podcast and also rate and review it. You could also send this episode to a friend who you think would enjoy it. And don't forget to join me every Friday on this beautiful journey out of your head and into your more embodied and authentic self.